Okay, so today's draft is cities that will go craziest. There's two
The wildest
easy,
Super Bowl celebration.
the wildest Super Bowl celebration. There's two easy answers here, but I'll go with the one that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the great city of Buffalo, New York. And if the Buffalo Bills ever get to the mountaintop, you've seen how crazy those fans are when they stink, when it's 10 degrees out and they're tailgating a 2-14 team. Doesn't matter. They're still passionate. Give me the Buffalo Bills. That city would be absolutely insane if they could ever win a Super Bowl.
They had that stretch of getting to 4 in a row, which is so impressive and so rare and so difficult. And they won none of them. And then they had that long period of time where they didn't even get to the playoffs, and now they're relevant again. I agree with you. Buffalo fans would be among the most raucous. Win or lose in the Super Bowl, they love their team, and yes, you give them that reason to celebrate, and it would be a celebration unlike any other. In Cleveland, I got to go Cleveland. And look, there's going to be a lot of celebrations before the Super Bowl. It could be they have nothing left by the time they get to the Super Bowl, because think about it. Getting to the playoffs, huge celebration. Winning a playoff game, gigantic celebration. They haven't won a playoff game since the team came back into the NFL in 1999. Getting to the Super Bowl for the first time ever, I may have to go back, because really, they will have nothing left. They will have burned it down already by the time we get to the Super Bowl and they win the Super Bowl, because it's too much. For the Bills, at least they've been there before. The Browns have never been there, but still, I got to go with Cleveland. And back when the Browns were winless and struggling, and Browns fans get upset when you point out that they stink. It's like, folks, I'm trying to demand better on your behalf. I want Cleveland fans to have a team that will be relevant and competitive and in the mix for playoff berth. You don't have to go every year, but it'd be nice to go once every 5. So Cleveland would be over the top. But the celebrations along the way, you accumulate it all, the celebrations along the way, plus the Super Bowl celebration, there'd be nothing like it in the history of sports.
Mike, if you want Cleveland to be good, don't you think you shouldn't be talking about them in the Super Bowl? That's some unrealistic expectations. You got to talk about week one.
Just stop it.
All right, my next pick. We're sticking with the teams that have either never been to a Super Bowl, never won a Super Bowl, because I think that's really the recipe here, right? Like, it's the teams that would have that once in a lifetime party because it's never actually happened. So I'll go with the Detroit Lions as my next pick. The city of Detroit loves their Lions. The Lions have been arguably the worst franchise in the last 30 years. I mean, the last time they went to the playoffs the last time they went to the NFC Championship game, won a playoff game, was 1991, correct? Is that right?
Yes.
That's a long time. That's a long time to just win a playoff game. They haven't done that since 1991. Win a playoff game. So I think if they could ever put together a playoff run, a Super Bowl run, it would be incredible. The city of Detroit would celebrate that like no other. And it's another franchise that just has been down on their luck for a very, very long, extended period of time, and still has a fan base that is rabid and fanatical and just wants to have a winning football team.
They actually had a celebration 4 years ago at halftime of a game commemorating the 25th anniversary of the last time they won a playoff game. And I don't think that's something you want to celebrate the silver anniversary of. It just underscores the dysfunction that has engulfed that franchise for decades. So I don't think in Detroit they would know what to do with themselves if that team found a way to the Super Bowl and ended up winning. It's a lot like what would happen in Cleveland. The celebrations along the way would exhaust the ability to have the right kind of celebration when you win the Super Bowl, because everything would be a major surprise for the Lions. And here's how long ago it was that they won a playoff game. You were 6. And I'm trying to picture 6-year-old Big Cat with a mustache. Did you have a mustache when you were 6?
Yes, I did. A full mustache. I was a man. And I was thinking about, Super Bowls and getting ahead of myself. But yeah, this is a good pick by me. I'm dominating this draft. And I actually, Mike, I'm going to say it right now.
It's not a Friday. It's not a Friday until you declare that you're dominating the draft.
I have like 4 picks that I could go with my last pick. It's crazy how many picks I have in my brain right now.
Well, we got plenty of time, and I have plenty of ideas as well. There's plenty of fan bases out there that have been suffering for a very long time. And this one is kind of a corollary to your Buffalo Bills pick. And this is a team that finds a way every once in a while to get close to getting back, and they get smacked down. And it's always some extravagant, ridiculous failure, something that you look back on and you don't want to think about anymore, like Gary Anderson missing the field goal in 1998 that would put him up 10, Brett Favre with the crossbody throw when they're in position to kick a field goal and beat the Saints. It's always something. It's always something that keeps the Vikings from getting back to the Super Bowl. They were there 4 times in the 70s. It's been 44 years and counting since they've been back. And there's just that there's a greater sense of anticipation that, like, this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen. And I think that would make it all explode if and when it ever does happen, although I probably would bet the under.
Yeah, it's probably never going to happen. You're right. It also would be 0 degrees in Minnesota, which always takes a little bit out of the celebration. So I'm going to go with a little bit of a warmer city, and we talked about it at the beginning of this hour. How about the Atlanta Falcons? How about a franchise that has been close a couple times, has been to that Super Bowl, had 28-3, and I think when you talk to Atlanta sports fans, you know, they had that stretch there where they had Georgia in the national championship up against Alabama. They fall short. They haven't been able to do it. And then the Falcons up 28-3. They fall short. They're not able to do it. Atlanta also seems like a city that would have a really fun party if they could ever get over the finish line. So I'll say the Atlanta Falcons. That would be an awesome, awesome party. And also not really cold.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that one, although to the extent you were dominating, I think that your dominance is starting to wane in these final 2 rounds. I'm going to go, look, I'm shifting to a team now that actually has multiple trophies in the case. It's very easy to say, well, the cities that have never won one, those are the ones that'll go crazy. Yeah, but there are cities that have a history of winning at a high level that have gone a very long time without winning at a high level. And when you consider the following of the Dallas Cowboys, it is astounding that they continue to be the most popular team in America. It's been 25 years since they've been to the NFC Championship game. That is incredible to me. They are a team that has had so much of this sense that well, you know, we're good enough and we can get there and we can make it happen. You've got Jerry Jones talking every year as if this is the year they're going to get it done, and it's this constant sense of disappointment. If they would get it done, I mean, you think about the following they have, and you think about the following they have in Texas. If they could ever pull it off, it would be huge. It would be like they've never won one before, because it kind of feels like they've never won one before.
Too spread out. Dallas is too spread out of a city. So, wrong pick. Here's a pick for you, Mike. I just did a little
People don't have cars
on you.
People don't have cars.
You thought that the Falcons was like the 3rd pick there. I actually have my 3rd pick as my 4th pick, but I took you off the trail because if you want to talk true party, there's actually only one city in America that knows how to party better than every city in America, and that's New Orleans. And guess what? The New Orleans Saints, if they can win another one with Drew Brees, after the Minneapolis Miracle, after the egregious missed pass interference that then forced us to have the Mike Florio pass interference replay rule in 2019, if they can win one with Drew Brees and Sean Payton, that party, it's already New Orleans. If you've ever partied in New Orleans, it's insane. I was there when LSU won the national championship, which feels like 10 years ago. It was 4 months ago, 5 months ago. That party was insane. I can only imagine if the Saints could win another Super Bowl. That city loves the Saints, and it already has the base level of everyone's drunk already anyway. So it would be a perfect party.
How have we gone 4 rounds in this draft for you without you mentioning one of the cities that would go absolutely berserk if its team could somehow duplicate what it did to cap the season that began the year you were born? The Bears.
Because Mike
would go absolutely bonkers.
I'm learning from you, Mike. I don't talk about Super Bowls. I'm not
trying
to jinx this.
You can go.
No,
you can go ahead and talk
Chicago
about it
would
with the
go
Bears.
absolutely insane. Chicago is always a Bears city first. Like, you know, the city loves the Bears. It would go insane. It would be the greatest party. You know, you saw the Cubs when they won. It would be double that. You know, I've been to, you know, Blackhawks rallies and done all that stuff. The Bears winning the Super Bowl would be absolutely crazy. I just don't want to get ahead of myself, Mike, because I learned from the best. It's all about week one. Who do the Bears even play week one? I don't even know the schedule.
How do you not know who the Bears play week one? How do you not know who your Chicago Bears play week one?
Because I'm worried about a pandemic, Mike.
It's possible they play. There's a lot of good games week one. There's a lot of good games week one, which has caused me to believe that they're going to end up getting week one in and then maybe regroup and take a couple of weeks off and paste some weeks on to the end of the season. All right, those are our picks.
We play the Lions. That's why it's forgettable, because I don't really like when you do division games like that week one. I kind of like to open up something else.
I thought about drafting the 49ers here too, because there's that. I tell you, their fan base is raucous, and they've gone that 25, 26 years without winning one. I just think when you have that tradition of excellence and you go an extended period of time and you have a whole generation of fans who haven't been able to experience it themselves, in their mind, it's like it never happened. So a lot of fan bases they all would celebrate, but none of them should talk about it openly, as we established earlier in the program. All right, we're going to take a break and wrap up this week, this day, this season, I guess, of Pro Football Talk Live before we begin our 3-week hiatus. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.